What's up, YouTube? It's really nice out, except it's gonna rain soon, and if it rains, it's gonna ruin my hair, which is gonna suck. So I'm sacrificing ruining my hair for you guys, just so y'all know. Anyways, my loves, I just finished a leg workout, and like I said, it's nice outside, so I thought this would be a nice time to talk about my fitness story. Now, it is a long story. It is not a short story, so this might be split into a couple parts. I want to tell you guys how I've come to be where I'm at and some of the mistakes I've made along the way. So when it comes to fitness, I think a lot of people don't realize that there's two very important aspects to fitness. Of course, there's the physical aspect, which we all see, which is, you know, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to gain this much muscle, I want to have physical part, we all know, right? The part that isn't talked about a lot is the psychological part, the mental part. And what I always tell people, and why I think I've been successful with my goals this time around, is because I was ready physically and mentally. And the mental part is definitely the hardest part to grasp when it comes to fitness. And I think that's where a lot of people make mistakes, and it takes a while to achieve their goals because they don't understand that there is a mental aspect to fitness. Now, to understand my fitness story, we gotta go all the way back. And I came to Canada when I was really young. I was, 2 years old. From a young age, she put me in everything. I was in swimming, I was in basketball, I did tennis, I did dance. Dance was a huge one for me. I did tap, jazz, hip hop, like I did a lot of dance, which is part of my fitness story for sure. I did taekwondo, I did karate, I was so active as a child. It's probably from the age of 6 to about 12. I was really active. I did soccer. I remember for me, the first time that I legit thought I was fat, I can remember exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing, exactly what I was wearing. The first time I thought I was fat, I was 8 years old. I was in a turtleneck. It was white with little purple hearts, and I remember just looking in the mirror, 8 years old. I was living with my aunt at the time, and looking at myself and being like, oh my God, I'm so fat. Like, look at my belly, I'm so fat. And I don't know if that's normal for most kids to think that, but I thought that at a very young age. And I think that part of it was because I saw a lot of what my mom went through, and how she would constantly be on diets and say that she was fat or this, and I could see how unhappy she was. So I think part of that translated into my life, On top of that, I'm Latina, okay? I grew up in Ottawa. Ottawa, for those of you who don't know, if you're watching me from the States or wherever you're watching me, Ottawa is it's a city, but it feels like a town. And when I grew up here, there wasn't a lot of multiculturalism. But Latinas in general, we tend to be a little more curvier. It's just the way we're made. Like, we got bigger hips, we got big butts. We usually have broader shoulders. Like, that's just how we're made, And growing up, I didn't understand that, because what I saw was a lot of what I grew up in. My environment was a lot of ethnicities that were not like me. So because of that, I was always curvier, and I equated curvier with fat. That's what I thought a lot of growing up. So because of that, I was always interested in nutrition, and I was always interested into fitness. First book I read was it was one on how certain foods can affect your you can be sensitive I guess to certain foods. Before this whole gluten and celiac and all these things came out, or I'm dairy free and all that, before all that came out, I read that book, and it just that book talked about food sensitivities and how certain foods can cause you to gain weight, or make you not feel good, make you not feel happy, can affect your emotional health even. And that at that time, I think that was probably breaking at that time, because I think I was 12 or 11 when I read that book, and just blew my mind. And that diet, there was a diet in that book, that elimination diet, which is basically nowadays you'd call it like a cleanser or detox. And I tried doing that like 3 times and I couldn't get past 3 days because it was just so difficult for me. I read the South Beach diet. Like, I read so many diet books, it's insane. Because growing up I wasn't very confident and I wasn't very secure because I equated health and weight, I guess you should say weight, because I didn't think about health and weight, with happiness, and I wasn't at the weight that I wanted to be. So another thing that, you know, affected, I guess you could say, my health growing up is we weren't the richest. Like, we came here from El Salvador, you know, my mom was a single mom. She struggled, she did the best that she could, and she did a pretty good job, I think, in the end, but you know, when I was younger, it was a struggle. And she didn't know what was healthy to eat and what was unhealthy to eat. So we ate what was available, you know. She would buy what she could afford. And unfortunately, that's a lot of unhealthy food. It's a lot of junk, right? Even now, it really makes me angry that it's cheaper to buy, you know, a cheeseburger and a Coke than to go buy a salad. It's just ridiculous to me, and it makes me so, that's something we'll talk about later, about all the corporations, and because they make me so mad. I've read a lot of books on the food corporations and their philosophy and how they think about their customers and how they really just don't give a shit, and they addict people to food. And for a long time, because I ate so unhealthy and we ate basically what we could afford at the time, and my mom didn't know what was healthy and what wasn't. She didn't know that she was setting me up for food addictions down the line, or, you know, sugar addiction, which was the big one for me. She didn't know, but because I was eating that way, and unfortunately because she didn't have the education and there was not a lot of information about this, I ate what was available. I remember being, you know, 12 years old. There was one time specifically, like, I would use food as comfort. So I remember I went into the kitchen, I grabbed the Chips Ahoy. I don't know if you guys know, but Chips Ahoy has this like double chocolate cookie, and it's not hard, it's like soft, so you can, like, it melts in your mouth, and it's just like the most delicious thing ever. But like, I don't eat that shit now. But at that time, I think I was 12 years old, and I grabbed the box of cookies, and in one sitting, I sat on the couch, I watched TV, and I literally ate that whole box of cookies to make myself feel better. So basically, I was unhappy with my weight. So to make myself feel better, I would eat. I would have food. So it was like this circle of unhappiness, and it really was like a food addiction. Food was always my biggest problem. I started doing fitness programs at super young. We had, in our house, we had like Pilates, we had Taibo. Oh, I loved Taibo. I still love Taibo. We had Zumba. I was doing Zumba before any of y'all. I promise you that. I was doing Zumba when I was 14 years old. The guy, Beto, who runs Zumba, he was on the shopping channel, and I watched Zumba, and he was like, oh, Shakira does this every day, and I was like, oh my god, we have to buy Zumba. And I begged and begged and begged my mom, and she bought me like the whole Zumba collection. And when friends would come over, I'd make them do Zumba with me, because it was me off topic again. So fitness, I was always super active. Activity, I don't think, was a huge issue. Like, as I got into my teens, 16, 18, I stopped being as active because, I was all like girly, and like I started paying attention to boys and boys started paying attention to me. But between like 15 to about 18, I wasn't really active. I ate super bad. I didn't watch my weight. I didn't care. I just pretended to be super confident, but I was dying inside, and I hated my body, and I felt really, really insecure. Okay, so now at 19. At 19, I got my first real desk job. I was very proud of myself. I became an administrator for a marketing company. It was an awesome job at the time. I had been working for them previously, and I guess you could say a different department. And I got offered the position as an administrator, and I loved it. It was awesome. The only difference was before that, I was a marketing rep. So I was out talking to people on site, moving constantly for, 8 hours a day. And then I did a drastic change to sitting down in a desk for 8 hours a day. So it was a big change. One day I was at a mall in downtown. I worked downtown, and I saw a little box that said, buy, what did it say? It said, enter this contest to win a free gym membership for a year. And I was like, ooh, free gym membership, cool. Let me sign up for fun, just for fun, because free, I'm all about free. So I signed up for fun, and now I've worked for a gym, so I know that is just a scam. And at the time though, I was like 18 or 19? I was 18, I think. Okay, yeah, I was 18. So whatever. So of course they called me and they're like, you've won a 1-week gym membership. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never won anything in my life. This is so exciting. I was so excited. So I'm like, okay, awesome. So I go to the gym, which was downtown, and it was Good Life Fitness, which is the biggest gym in Canada. And I end up signing up, of course, because I'm really an easy sell. If you're friendly and we get along, as long as I have the money, I will buy whatever you're selling. Anyway, so of course I signed up for a gym membership. Do I know what I'm doing? Do I know what my plan is? I have no idea what my plan is. I told a friend that I had signed up, and she's like, oh, I have a gym membership there too. We should work out together. Our workouts, it's funny because now I say people who just do cardio, I call them cardio bunnies. And guys, don't just do cardio. It's so bad for you to just do cardio. Especially as a woman, it's the worst thing you can do for your body. You need to strength train and build muscle. I'm super passionate about that. That's something we'll talk about another day. But right now, let's get back to this. I was a cardio bunny when I started. I would go to the gym, I'd jump on the elliptical for half an hour, and then I would go home. And honestly, it didn't seem like a lot to do, but going from zero movement to even having half an hour a day on the elliptical, it made a big difference in terms of my mood and just how I felt. And I just felt like I was getting out energy, and it felt a lot better. I had no idea what I was doing in the gym, but I was like, hey, why not? Guys, I'm losing my light here, and I talked way more than I thought I was gonna talk. End the video here. The next part is probably the biggest part of my fitness story, and when I really discovered my strength, what my body could do really, and how I could transform my body. To tell you that story, we have to fast forward a year later, when probably the thing that made the most impact on my life, and that was when I moved to Toronto. To tell you that story, that's a crazy story, but I want to leave it here because this is the first part of my fitness story. And the second part will be me kind of how it really came to be, how I found my strength. And here for now because I'm losing my light too. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Congratulations guys, you made it to the end of the video. You know what that means. It's time to like the video. You made it to the end, you might as well. Please remember to subscribe to the video. New videos are every Monday and Thursday. Subscribe, comment, share, and like. I will see you in the next one. Peace!